You would like to see an appointed board because you think that you would get better people who know how to serve. Could that happen? Could you make that happen? What would happen with the election? How would that work?
Okay, the other day, and I hope that the city council will draft a referendum that would allow the voters of Memphis to vote in November, this November, on whether or not they think that an elected board should be in power or an appointed board. I happen to favor an appointed board. I want the citizens of Memphis to vote. I want to hear from the citizens, okay?
Okay.
I have my views, but I want to hear from the citizens.
Okay.
If the citizens approve the referendum, then we'd have to go to the state legislature and get the state legislature to help us with this matter. Then we'd have to go to the state board and the governor. So there's a process. And let me just say this, because I heard some people on this new guy you all got on with Jeff Lee. I mean,
Steve Ladd.
Steve Ladd. And he's new, and I can tell he's new.
Yeah.
He doesn't understand me. But let me say this to you. I don't need no power. I'm not on a power trip. I've been in power since I was 28 years old, okay? And so Steve Ladd, you're a newcomer. You need to learn me, man. Get your facts straight, okay? He's one of those haters, too. Okay.
All
so
right.
I don't need this.
Okay.
I'm the kind of guy, I step up to a civic need when I think my community needs me. That's what this is all about. If the resolution is passed, it would not go in effect while I'm in office.
Okay, so it wouldn't take
these people out here talking about Herenton is a control freak. He want to run everything.
Right.
And if the plan is approved, it is approved when I'm out of office. But they're not intelligent enough to ask the right question. They jump to all of these conclusions. They got all the answers, and they don't know anything.
Okay. We're going to take some phone calls, but before we get there, I need to get these questions in, too, to the mayor. You told the city council and school board that you had a plan, with some things to work for the Memphis City Schools. Are you going to submit that plan to Dr. Cash?
Now, what I want to do, I'm going to be respectful to Dr. Cash. If you notice, Bev, when Dr. House was here, I never got into this lady's business.
Right.
Dr. Carol Johnson, I never got into her business. The school system's at a critical juncture now. We've made two big mistakes, I think, in not having continuity in the school superintendent. So I've intervened because I'm the mayor of a city, and the quality of the school system is important to me. When we go out to try to recruit companies to relocate or to expand, you know what they look at, Ben?
They look at education.
They look at your educational system. They look at your crime rate. They look at all of those factors. So that's why in cities like New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, Boston, Baltimore, Cleveland, Providence, Trenton, and Washington, D.C., the mayors control the school systems. So Memphis would simply be falling in line. I want all of the haters to know that there are cities where this model is working. And let me name them again.
Okay.
New York, Philadelphia, Chicago, Boston, Baltimore, Cleveland, Ohio, Providence, Trenton, and Washington, D.C. What I would like to see happen in Memphis is a hybrid, something similar to the model they have in Chicago and Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Now, city council holding back funds. How you feel about that? And, people are saying, Mayor Herenton, that that's just a ploy. The state's not going to take any money away, and this is just a ploy. Your thoughts on that?
Bev, let me just simply say this. The state has the responsibility, the power, and the authority
to do so
under certain conditions to withhold funds. Now, some of these people want to speculate and say the state won't do. I don't know what they will do. All I can state emphatically with clarity is that they have the authority to do that. If the city or the county fails to meet that maintenance of effort, that is, reduce funding below a particular level, the state can withhold close to $500 million, and it would collapse the school. You wouldn't have a school system.
We would.
You'd have massive layoffs. You'd have so many programs that would be terminated. It would disrupt the school system and this city. I don't want to see that happen.
Okay.
No responsible person should want to see that happen.
So you're asking the city council, when you talk to them, you're asking them to reconsider, look at some...
Absolutely. I'm saying, look, you know, and I respect the city council. I mean, I've got a new city council. They really want to make effective change, and I applaud them for that. I think to abruptly just reduce funding for the city schools to make a case on tax equity, you shouldn't do that abruptly. I think this plan ought to be phased in so that we can have some dialogue with the county officials, with state officials, with both school boards. But to come up as abruptly as the council has done this and to effectuate this kind of change, I think it could have a devastating impact on the children and the school system.
Okay. And how is the city looking? Because when they're talking about a budget and cutting back, I mean, are we okay? Are we in trouble?
No, the city, let me just say, and it's interesting that you asked that, you make that observation, because I'm providing leadership for the school board. If they fund the school system's budget, they got to take it from my budget.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
See, I'm not just advocating that we have a quality school system without the city giving up some of its. We've got to do some heavy lifting to help the schools. What I'm willing to do is a cutback in which it's going to be tough on some of the city operation in order to help the schools. What the council has done is to reduce the tax rate.
Okay.
I don't know any major city in America that's reducing tax rates. At best, if you could hold the line, but the council made a decision. That's within their realm of authority. If I'd have been on the council, I wouldn't have voted for it, but that's what they did. They have the authority to do it. That was out of their consciousness to do that. And I don't think it was a right decision, but it was their decision to make.
And looking at the money, do you think the school board says they'll file a lawsuit if they have to?
Yeah.
They can do that.
They can do that, Bev, and I wanted to avoid that because, you know, costly litigation bruises the feelings of people, and I just felt that all of this could have been avoided. But I understand the city council. The city council is trying to say to the school board, hey, school board, we're not pleased with your performance, okay? We think you're wasteful. We think you're inefficient, and we think you have not been accountable. So we're going to send you a shockwave so that we can bring you in line, and also that we can spread the cost of supporting education across the county. See, in reality, the county is responsible for funding the Memphis school system.
Okay.
And this council is saying, hey, we're going to make that case. If it needs to be tested in a court of law, we're going to do that. But in the meantime, I think the education of the children
is going to suffer?
It could if we don't get a positive outcome, and nobody knows what the courts are going to do.
Okay. We're talking to the mayor this morning. We are going to give you an opportunity to talk. Y'all itching. They itching, Mayor Herenton. We're going to open our phone lines because he wants to talk to y'all too. Hold on, callers and listeners. We're talking this morning. The mayor of the city of Memphis is here. 535-9342 is our number. 535-WDIA.